Woo! Hey everybody, Jim Sammons here, the Kayak Fishing Show live. As always, brought to you by Ballast Point Brewing Company. Going for the Marlin, or the Mocha Marlin Porter today. This stuff is like, it's like dessert in a can. So good. Good little coffee, mocha flavor. Absolutely delicious. So, really excited about having the show here today. Let me get that off. I know we all wanted to talk about the World Series. You know, I was rooting for the Nationals, so for once a team I was rooting for won. We talk about the Padres hiring of a new manager. Who cares? Nobody ever heard of him. So we're not actually going to be talking about baseball at all. The reason we're here is we've been teasing this thing for all week. The adventure is coming, and today is the day that we get to finally actually talk about it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to start this out with a little video from Jackson Kayak introducing Jackson Adventures, and then we're going to get the full rundown from the guys and go over the whole thing for you. Let's just bring this up. I'm going to bring myself.
At Jackson, we're about adventure outdoors.
We're a team.
A group of friends. A family.
In 2003, we started Jackson Kayak in an old laundromat.
My original purpose was simply to make whitewater kayaks for my kids.
As our family grew, so did Jackson Kayak. Now we make kayaks for the whole family.
Our company motto is build it like it's yours.
Made in America. Sparta.
Tennessee.
Innovation and teamwork.
We build things right. And because of our craftsmanship, we've grown beyond just whitewater. With the core value of remaining open and welcoming throughout our journey,
This family has expanded further.
We maintain a central point.
A home.
That's why we're excited to introduce Jackson Adventures
the new home of Jackson Kayak, Orion Coolers and Kennels,
and Blue Sky Boatworks.
A way to embrace all facets of our lifestyle.
whether it's whitewater, fishing, or recreational kayaking,
Camping,
exploring,
or whatever draws you and your family to the outdoors.
We offer quality outdoor gear to help you and your family live out your adventure.
That's why we're now Jackson Adventures.
Very cool video. Kind of gives you a glimpse of what's going on, but you know, it's not the full story. That's why I brought on Will Richardson, and we're gonna close that because there we go. Will Richardson,
hi,
my good friend. Hey, Will, how are you doing, man? If people don't know, I went and saw Will a few weeks ago. He had a little medical issue, and you look good, man.
I'm doing well. I am recovering and feeling much better, Jim. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Awesome. And of course, all of you guys know, guest on the show quite often, a very good friend of ours, head of marketing, Jackson Kayak, James Macbeth.
Oh, shoot. It's my boss. He knows I'm slacking.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
I can't get the left right going here at all.
I'm going to try something here also because this has Clay. I don't know if, but I'm not seeing any video. So
Clay is, Clay is actually in the factory right now. So
Clay.
Hi, Clay.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you. We just can't see it. Oh, so is that EJ?
That might be a good thing that you can't see me. I'm not sure.
Is this Clay?
this is
This
Clay.
is Clay.
Okay. Good. You're actually in the factory. Oh, there you go.
Actually, we won't say where we are.
Okay. Well, it's Friday. So, guys, I I mean, let's get right to it. I mean, we've been teasing this thing. Adventure is coming. Adventure is coming. This is a whole new thing with Jackson Kayak. I should bring this up as well, and I did make it up. Whole new website, jacksonadventures.com. Sure.
First thing I want to do is I want to talk about the tease. That was kind of an interesting thing for us. The story behind Jackson Adventures is one thing, but I think a really cool metaphor for what this is all about is what happened when Will and I basically posted to the team page and said, "Hey, man, put a little logo on your post and photo of what you do and where you want to go, what you love, and share it out there." And we was like one of the most interesting campaigns I think I've ever seen in a while. And it was more basically our team being our team. It was pretty cool, from a whitewater team to our fishing team, and it just got funky. It took a direction of its own. That was super cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been looking through all the posts from everybody, and there've just been some phenomenal photos, and like I said, teases to the whole thing, and different ways of looking at the whole adventure thing. It wasn't just although cool stuff, EJ going off a waterfall, but also was it Gene posted or I can't remember, a picture of a flower out in the water. I mean, it's just everybody's different idea of getting out there and being outdoors and having an adventure, right?
Yeah. So for the last, obviously since that infamous laundromat, and Clay was there back then, and we've grown. We started Orion Coolers, or actually Kayak Fishing before Orion Coolers, which is a depart from whitewater in its roots, and Clay, EJ, and that kind of generation of Jackson Kayak was quite involved, obviously, and it migrated into fishing. So that was a whole new world. And then we got into coolers, and those are many new worlds there. And then finally, Blue Sky Boatworks, which kind of went outside of our comfort zones, if you will, and our unique marketing targets, and went into the general fishing population and the boating population, and of course kennels, which was like, what? And now we're housing pets. So
I like how Clay is like demonstrating adventure and pets. He's like literally on an adventure right now.
Clay, why isn't that dog in a kennel? Apparently Clay's frozen. So yeah, but I mean, oh, there you are.
Yeah, we just got on the road. We're headed to Green Race, and got word about the call in, so I called in, and now I'm just trying to get somewhere to get better. So
Well, that's okay. Just as long as we can see your dog every once in a while, it's all good. We're all dog lovers here, except for James. He likes cats. Kind of weird.
Yeah. She's the star of the show for sure. It showcases the need for a kennel. She showcases the need for why you're supposed to have a kennel.
Cool.
So James, I know you've been. I mean, you've been working
the dog in a kennel.
James, you've been working like nonstop on this this whole initiative, the new website. I mean, it finally came up live about an hour ago. I mean, it looks fantastic, and there's so much to it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot to it, and that's actually part of the problem, if you will. If you close your eyes and think about it, most of these entities were brands. So Jackson Kayak, Blue Sky Boatworks, Orion Coolers, Orion Kennels, they're brands of it on their own, and that meant 4 websites and 4 groups of social media platforms, and a lot of people pull different ways. And the reality is, as Clay is kind of demonstrating right now, we're adventurers. We like going out there, and that adventure involves all these different sectors of our business. That's why we got into them in the first place, and it just made a lot more sense to bring it under Jackson, under one name. So that's where we are. Do note that it's not just about a website. It's not just about a mentality and consolidation and making my job easier. It's more about a whole new line of opportunity. The biggest news, I think, is that we're selling direct via our website through our dealer program. We have a
wait, what? You guys are selling direct?
We are.
This is
So
Whoa! Hold on. It's important to note that the dealers are involved in this.
Yes. So
this is super unique. It's very cool.
Yeah. So historically, any company's gone direct has always been kind of a funky thing. Obviously, you're cutting the dealer out is not something we'd ever do, and the opportunities provided by today's technology to allow us to reward the dealers exactly the same way they're being rewarded now, plus. So there's a whole bunch of kind of reward systems in place for every single order that comes through our website, and including white glove service from the dealer themselves, pickups at the dealer, ship direct with dealer benefits. It's all sorts of stuff going on. Hi, Andy.
Hey, James, is this I was trying to figure out this direct thing, and the dealers are all going to be happy, but how does the shipping work? Does this mean we're not going to have to ship things to a dealer and then have them ship it a long way again?
It's kind of both. So when someone orders a kayak online, we first find out if a dealer's got that kayak in that color right next to them. The consumer can choose to have the boat shipped direct, but that's more costly. It is much cheaper to ship through a dealer, and if the dealer has it on hand, there's a white glove service that we're going to be offering through the dealers, that they're just going to be basically picking the boat up or getting the boat dropped off from the dealer themselves in some cases. Dealers still do order boats. They get more benefit if the boat is on their floor, and the consumer as well, because the boat is immediately available. If we have to ship a boat through a dealer, then margins are different, but the reward is more than they've ever had from a direct to sale offering. So the dealer is really, really involved in all this, and they're the first line of our offense and defense out there for sure.
I want to say I think this is really cool because I'm not an expert on this, but I don't feel like any other kayak company in particular has done something this way to still support dealers, but support the consumer to be able to get what they want when they want it. And I think that's one of the hardest things about supporting dealers in this day and age, is that everybody wants to be able to click on a buy now button because we've gotten used to being able to get stuff that way, and being able to keep the dealers involved so that the mom and pop shops are still going to, go strong. I think that's amazing. And I'm super excited to be involved with that.
No, I mean, what I was thinking is the convenience of that online ordering, but having that mom and pop customer service that we've always loved, from the small shops instead of the big box stores. I mean, it kind of brings it all together in the best way. I mean, you kind of have maybe a little bit more choice and all that, ordering direct, but then having it involved with the dealer, so the dealer's not feeling left out is phenomenal. And then the customer gets to work with their local dealer. And which we all know. I mean, like, my local dealers are fantastic. I would much rather go into that small shop than have to go into a big shop, a big box store that are not personal. So it is such a good thing.
And yet, one of my challenges when I go to dealers, especially these dealers event, and you get somebody and they're like, "Oh, I'm so stoked on the antics. This is awesome. Can you get me the small red one?" And then you're like, "Oh," and you can see the dealer's face, and he's kind of like, "Medium blue looks really good."
Don't you like the blue?
Yeah.
It matches your eyes.
I've got 2 blue left and no red. So I hope that'll help the customers get more of what they want, and the dealers not have to worry too much or nearly as much about what they stock.
Funny, Clay, that's exactly where the conversation actually started. And it's funny that conversation has never happened before with dealers in our sector anyway, mostly because of the taboo that is Amazon. As soon as you say direct, it means everybody's cut out, but that's absolutely not the case. We are now, with our traffic and our attention to our channels, we have 4 new channels on our website: Whitewater channel, a fishing channel, and adventure channel, as well as a global channel for our international folks. Those channels right now achieve on average 200,000 to 300,000 unique visitors a month. That's incredible marketing to keep to ourselves. But the reality is we want to send that marketing directly to the dealers. And this is a way for us to do that. You know, when people are reading and they click on the product icon and they go to the add to cart function, and the dealers are getting it right away.
Yeah.
So Jim, have you come up with some sort of cool tagline for it, and instead of just calling it direct?
No. That's like,
Come on, man! We just spent a week coming up with taglines.
Semi-direct.
Do everything.
Direct-ish.
Yeah.
Direct awesome.
Will the products be delivered via drone?
Actually, sorta.
It's a really big drone. It's actually not a drone. It's just some dude we pay at the factory that we've changed his name legally to Drone, and he'll carry it to your house.
He does have wings.
Jean Wilson says she keeps getting off the feed and she'll watch again later. Jean, come on.
She's out fishing today.
Yeah, she's getting knocked out the feed because she's out on the water.
Exactly.
So Jean brings up a really important point, and in not so much Jean bringing the point up, but this entire process, I mentioned that the teams and their sharing of adventures coming, and reality is this is a huge project. You know, about 8 months ago, we had a meeting with a firm called Genesis, and they kind of went over where we are and with all our splits and different personalities, if you will. Split personality, new hashtag for. And the conclusion was this incredible plan. And I sat in these meetings. It was 2 days, and by quarter of the way through day one, this is kind of the direction we were all kind of agreed to be heading. And then all of a sudden, I started. You know, I have this little habit of writing down things that I need to do with a little checkbox next to them, because that's my to-do list, and then I transfer that to my project management system. Well, I spent 2 days writing these little things that the marketing department will have to do, and it was all marketing. You know, we have a lot of stuff going on internally. Customer service is taking a huge hit in regards to having to manage and welcome all these calls and these inquiries. We've hired a new kid, Ryan. I call him a kid because he's younger than I am. Ryan is awesome. He's going to be managing the store and all the confusion that it's going to create in our company. Excuse me, Roxanne and customer service, and everybody in customer service is going to be basically taking the brunt of the work. And then we just did 6 months pretty much of reshaking everything on the marketing side. So there's a lot of people involved in this rollout. It's not just a change of a logo. It's a big corporate mentality change, and especially this direct via dealer program. Oh, that's a good one. Direct via dealer. How's that?
There's a lot of cool things that James hasn't touched on in the back end of the website that we've changed too. First off, one of the things that we've discussed over the last couple of years is the website that we had, which was great, the Jackson Kayak website. It's been awesome. It's done amazing stuff for us. But one of the things that a lot of people have complained about is that it was very busy because of our just the amount of blogs that we do on a daily basis. So what most people don't know is that Jackson Kayak produces instructional, our team members on whitewater and fishing and the adventure side produce a blog a day. So if you think about it, that there is 360 blog posts of instructional content, video content put up per team per year. So you're looking at 900 plus blog posts. It just started to get really heavy. So one of the things that's really cool is that we've upped the quality. We've been working with the team to get the quality of those posts better, and we've done a much better job at organizing them so that you'll be able to get to some of the really cool premium content a lot faster and a lot better. And we're working with everybody in the team, and they're doing such an amazing job. We want to make sure that we can get you guys all that awesome instructional content quicker and better.
Yeah, I've got the website here up. Everybody can see it. Very, very cleanly set up. Go from the fishing boats, the whitewater boats, the wreck boats, the coolers, the kennels. So people who don't know about the Orion kennels, they are just bomber for us dog people, and whole accessories and gear. It's just super well laid out. But I was scrolling through here, and I did see something that I have not seen before. Let's get down, scroll. Financing options coming soon. What's that all about?
Oh shoot. Oh no.
Am I not supposed to talk about that? I'll scroll past it.
So we have a few opportunities right now at select dealers. We have financing options on point of purchase. So a lot of dealers are involved with Sheffield, which is a financing option. It's actually geared more towards the marina industry. So we're going to be expanding that to a lot of our dealers as we introduce it. We're starting to introduce it as we speak. Online, there's going to be some opportunities coming up very shortly, very, very shortly, that make life a little bit easier when you're looking at big ticket items.
Yeah, I mean, the $1,000 kayaks is one thing, but a lot of those fishing kayaks with pedal drives and stuff, those are getting up there. I think it's a great idea to have it be a little bit more of an affordable pay-as-you-go sort of purchase. That's a great idea. Good job.
There's one specifically. It's called Will Pay, and it diverts all the payments to Will.
Which,
Will Direct.
Yeah, that's going to work out well for everybody. Because, I mean, nobody's going to make it.
Pay. There's a will, there's a pay. I made that up. That's why I'm a marketing guy. Yeah, so lots of that kind of stuff. We have a consumer-facing program that is. I had hoped to launch at the same time. We couldn't. We don't have our ducks in a row, but we can't even find the ducks right now. But it's going to be all-encompassing and a very, very groundbreaking moment in our little industry when we launch it, and that's going to happen within the next month or so.
So keep an eye on our Facebook page and our Instagram page, because those announcements will be coming in the next couple of weeks, and they're going to be pretty big, I think.
No, yeah, and if anybody is not following Jackson Kayak, if you're a kayak angler, like Will was saying before, I mean, Jackson Kayak team members from whitewater to fishing, I mean, the amount of content that gets cranked through Jackson Kayak, and everything gets teased on the Facebook pages, and I mean, there's so much good stuff out there. Whether you want to just watch Dane do something crazy going down a waterfall, or EJ going off a waterfall and catching a fish in the middle of it, or
in his teeth.
Well, Clay can speak to this too. Clay, on the whitewater side, we've got some of the best, I mean, the greatest whitewater people in the industry right now, all writing blog posts and instructional posts. I mean, who do we have at the moment, other than you? I mean, you obviously being our number one.
Oh yeah, I love to write blog posts and everything else. I know I like doing it a lot more, but I also love following the team, because they're just fascinating, the different things that people are doing. I mean, Ben Stokesbury is maybe not as big a name as some of the people on the team, but the things that he's doing, the places that he's going with a kayak are mind-blowing, and he does it so freaking often that pretty much every time you seek him out and you haven't heard from him in a while, it's because he's in a new country having done another first ascent and stuff like that. Just sort of, I love how core that is, and he's not somebody to really promote himself and to really get all the other people talking about him. But if you want to follow Ben Stokesbury and you look at his posts, and then you get a globe and you figure out where he is, it's all so relevant. It's incredible. And then we've got people like Rafa Ortiz, who's just putting out content. He made a huge name for himself with Chasing Niagara, was a great movie, and he's such a great personality, and he's just putting that personality out there every day for us. You get Emily's stories of trying to balance work and kids and kayaking. You get, Stephen Wright throwing the biggest loops you've ever seen. We've got an awesome team.
And we got hold on, Clay, and we've got this guy. If he
no, James, our boss.
What?
Hi, EJ.
Hey, folks.
EJ, what's happening, man?
See this strap? I'm tying on this. Tying on some boats, some Angler 360s, a U-Pick, a Bite FD. I'm heading to Florida to go do some fishing and some filming with Team JK. We got Drew Gregory, James, and some others down there. We got Barry Wilson. We'll have Billy Hines, a couple like pro bass dudes that like fishing out of kayaks. So anyway, I'm sitting here in Chattanooga, loading this trailer, loading the truck, and I'm like, anyway, up to my eyeballs in boats right now. That's what I'm doing.
Now are you loading them because they fell off, EJ?
No, they didn't fall off. They just didn't all fit in one truck. So my wife Christine drove to Chattanooga with me in a second truck, and we brought them all here to Tennessee Trailers to pick up a trailer big enough to bring all these boats. It's pretty crazy.
Nice.
But anyway, that looked like that. Wow. Anyway,
You know, so if anybody's wondering, like from top to bottom, Eric Jackson, you know, the name on all these kayaks, he's out there adventuring right now, getting ready for a trip. And I mean, that's what this is. I mean, like the website says, it's outdoor to the core. Everybody involved in this company is doing stuff outdoors and trying to keep up with EJ.
Apparently, except for Will and James, who are just like sitting here drinking beer.
Well,
what? Hey, how come I wasn't invited?
Sorry.
I'm super fired up. This is going to be a lot of fun. What we're doing. One of the best things about Jackson Kayak, of course, is like you said, everybody's got their passion for the outdoors, whatever it is, and we don't really care what it is you like to do in outdoors. Obviously, we like boats. We're a big fan of boats, and we like to try to give people an opportunity to participate in boating activities, specifically kayaking, whether it be whitewater, fishing, recreation, whatever. But anyway, it's pretty fun having all these toys and having it be your responsibility to go out there and put them to work. So hopefully anybody out there watching, your plan is to get outdoors this weekend. The fall is here. Maybe it's winter for some of you folks, and whether you're whitewater kayaking, fishing, or whatever, you know where we'll find us, right?
well, I'm going to be in Florida next week myself, so but it's still warm here. I heard it's going to be very hot down there next week. So
high in 84, low in the 60s. Sounds pretty sweet to me. It's 29 degrees last night here in Tennessee, our first cold night. So anyway, so the timing couldn't be any better. We had a cold Halloween. The kids were all bundled up. They got their noses cold. So right now, we're doing the right thing. And I'm almost tied on. So in a moment, I'm going to be driving. Are you allowed to drive and do a live Facebook post at the same time? Is that legal? I don't know.
That's not a Bass 360 on that trailer, is it?
Whoa. You mean this one?
oh wow, is
Bass,
it really?
It's a Bass 360. Wait, we're telling people about it already? I thought it was secret. I was trying to hide it.
Well, you can't keep it secret. It's an iCast. What
That's a good point. Well, I was actually trying to hide it because I was like done public with the Bass 360 yet. But like smallest bass boat, so the bass tremble at the mention of its name. That's all I can say. Bass 360, the bass go, ah! Yeah.
EJ's actually, as we speak, heading to the birthplace of bass fishing. We have a partnership with Guy Harvey Resorts, and I did a lot of work to send people off fishing. Damn it. EJ's off to Camp Mac, which is kind of a fun place. Never been, but apparently it's really good.
Well, EJ went dark on us there.
He does that. So touching on the Bass Angler 360, that's kind of the next phase of what we're going to go through. As I mentioned, there's a really big customer-facing program that we're going to roll out.
I went. Yeah. All right, folks.
This is the first time I've had this many people on. It's pretty.
Bye, AJ.
Hi, AJ.
Bye, AJ.
Everybody's on adventures but us, James.
I know.
It rained so much here that Tennessee finally got tons of rain. Chattanooga has tons of rain. North Carolina, the green was almost flooded out. It's running higher than they can have the race today, so people are practicing with extra care. And everyone's really hoping that the water drops in enough for a good green race tomorrow. But the Southeast, as far as whitewater, is pretty much on fire for this weekend. I think everybody's really stoked to finally get on rivers that haven't run all summer long. This will be the first time that a lot of these rivers get run today and tomorrow. So yeah, the whole Southeast is just like kayaks going by everywhere.
So basically, if you're a true Jackson fan, you're not listening to this at all, because if you're in the Southeast, because you're packing your truck up and you're ready to go whitewater boating.
Or who knows, maybe you're driving down the road doing it like some of us.
There we go.
Well, here in California, the only running we're doing is away from fire. So,
all right.
Does the dog kennel help with that? Is the dog kennel flame retardant?
Yes, I want to say yes. I think
duck and cover in case of wildfire.
It's actually we have an accessory you can order. It's a sprinkler system. It's so.
Those kennels have lots of add-ons, or you jump in one of the coolers. Hey, actually, did you see our friend Sean White? He is up in NorCal, had his power shut down for 5 days, and he loaded up his Orion cooler because he had just got a half a steer. And so he just loaded up his Orion coolers with all that meat. 5 days later, he said everything was still frozen solid.
That's not the adventure you really want, though.
No.
But it helps, I guess.
Here you could take your kayak and go to the middle of a lake and be safe from the wildfire.
And here we just take our meat and put it outside, and it stays frozen.
We're in Canada. Fire actually hasn't been invented here yet.
No.
It's
well, Sean. I mean, I said Sean's been able to test the coolers a couple of ways. He also had the
bear attack.
Bear attack his cooler and not able to get in. So he had the real life bear proof test on that cooler.
Note to self: don't hang out with Sean.
Yeah.
So the other cool thing about and again, there was a lot of hype over adventures coming this week, and it's not just one moment. Please don't connect both of those. It's going to be about a new program coming up, but also probably 6 or 7 products. We have the Zen coming out, Zen 3.0. We have Bite FD and the Bite family, for that matter. We have the new FD 3D coming out. The E-Drive is, about to ship. So there's lots of stuff going out down the pipeline. It just so happens this is kind of the apex where everything kind of starts.
Pretty excited about these things.
What's
got Zen's on his roof?
Saying, James, you said the Bite family. What are you alluding to?
The Bite last year was a fishing boat with rec colors and stuff like that. So one of our most common bit of feedback we got from that was that, where's the fishing colors? Where are the fishing apparatus? We had some on it. So what we did is we basically split the group into 3. So we have a Bite FD version of the Bite, pedal drive version of the new Bite Angler, which is new. So we have the Bite Angler, which is all our favorite camo style fishing colors. And then we have the Bite itself, which is going to be a recreational version of the Bite. Not so much fishing on it, super simplified, actually much cheaper, $100 cheaper. So the Bite remains the same price. We upgraded the seat. We added a few new bells and whistles, and the Bite FD is, I like to call it the go-kart of pedal drive business. It's pretty fun.
The tests on the Bite FD are pretty amazing. The results of how well that technology and that boat have fused together. And there'll be plenty of announcements about those coming up in the next couple of weeks for sure.
Yep.
Troy Black.
So the Bite is just a smaller, lighter fishing kayak. Is that right?
It was. Now it's a whole family of them.
Now it's a whole family of
but definitely the for pedal drives, you're looking lighter, faster, quicker turning and stuff like that. It's fun. It's a fun boat.
Yeah, I looked at a whole stack of those things yesterday. It looks like they're trying to get those things up and rolling.
Yep.
Well, everybody from the initial Bite, everybody seems to love that little boat.
Yep.
That's one Jackson, probably the only fishing boat I haven't been in.
Yeah, it was our best seller last year for sure.
Yeah, I mean, everybody seems to like that little thing.
Well, what was neat was it was also really embraced by the youth market as well. So you had a lot of the college tournament scenes, because I do a lot of the donations from the fishing side. And we actually specifically got asked by a lot of the high school and college fishing tournaments that's what they wanted as their big prize for the end of the year, as their donation thing. And that's what's really neat to me is the youth market that's hit off on. And it's just another way to get younger people into kayak fishing, which is awesome, or into kayaking, paddling.
So
awesome.
Let's see. I'll do that silly thing I do sometimes. Let's see if we can see that little. There's the list of boats: the 360, the big rigs. There's the Bite Angler, right there. So pretty simple boat. Looks very stable, very maneuverable. How long is that?
It says right there.
Oh, there it is, 11.6. Well, yeah, I'm trying to talk to you guys and read at the same time. And of course, my eyes are so good, I'm going to be like that.
So one of the things we have sort of alluded to is that we are going to be doing some special stuff this year too, James, are we not? As far as talking about youth kayaks. Can we talk about that at all?
Yep. So one thing folks are noticing as we kind of rolled out the old site for 2020 products is there's a few boats missing, kids boats, boats like the Kraken and a few others. And that we had a little cut up, I call it the dark zone, when we really were only showing the boats that are available at dealers. What folks obviously didn't know is that we're going to go this direct route. And for some of these products that have been around for a while, some of these products don't sell high volumes through to dealers. We're going to be actually doing limited runs. So including our Jim Sammons signature Kraken, a lot of the kids boats.
That boat.
Our Clay's favorite, the Fun One, and a few others, many others actually. We're not throwing the molds away. We're going to be doing them, and you're going to see, kind of a limited run promos going on throughout the year when we're ready to put them back up on the furnaces. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So some of your favorites, guys, are coming back, and we're going to be able to bring some of those boats back that everybody really, really loved that we haven't been able to do in a while, because we'll be able to sell them all at one. It'll go up. You'll have a chance to get yours when it's hot, and Jim will let you know when the Kraken is out for sure. Clay's going to let you know when the Fun One is out. For sure. And that's going to be awesome.
We just have so many good boats, and there's so many different categories in whitewater. I can't see the dealers being able to stock them all. And so like a boat like the Karma UL, it's our long boat. It's our race boat. It's a great boat. It's been doing really well at all the races. Dane's just cleaning everything up in it and setting course records. But it's not a boat that sells all season long that often. It only sells in fall, right before race season, when people want to get a nice fresh one. So the dealers aren't going to be stocking that, and then suddenly the customer wants it. So I love the idea of having certain models like the kids boats and like our long boats, or like the Dynamic Duo and things like that you can still get, but the dealers don't have to worry about stocking it.
Is that an opportunity people would have to then also get in a custom color and that sort of thing? Or would it be, okay, we're doing a limited run of Krakens in this color? I'm just.
Yeah, I think the easy one's going to be the colors that we're offering that year. Custom colors are always going to be the same challenge, a little bit more costly to the consumer, because we're pulling colors out of, you got to rejig the furnaces to do custom colors, and a lot of times there's a blem involved and things like that as you're bringing new colors in. So it's always going to be the custom price. So
a lot of people don't realize that every color of plastic cooks just a little bit differently, and then when you have combinations, they cook a little bit differently. So I ordered a custom color last year, and I was really stoked on how it came out, but then I was unlucky or uncareful or whatever, and I broke it, and I was really bummed, because I was like, I'm going to have to go get another custom color boat. And I go to Jackson Kayak to think about ordering or just see which ones I like best, and there's another one just like it in the blem stack. And they said that's really common, that when you do order a custom boat, there's a good chance that there was a blimp made before yours. And so then we have to figure out what to do with those. So it does take us a little bit more time, and that's why they cost a little bit more.
Right. And that's a super good point that people don't understand. I mean, I remember when I first got into this business, and when I found that out, that, I mean, different shrink rates for different colors, you just wouldn't think of that. So there's a lot more to it than just throwing some plastic in a mold and spinning it around and cooking it, right?
Yeah, for the most part, we give all the whitewater blimps to Dane. He'll paddle it, I think.
Are we allowed to talk about shrinkage on a live cast?
Probably not.
I was in the pool.
Hashtag. There we go.
Josh Stewart says, think I'm looking to get a Zen. Buddy has been bugging me hardcore about hitting up some stone whitewater.
So Josh is Josh and I drove back from KBF National Championships last year and quickly became one of my favorite people. Josh is absolutely killing it this year in 2020, or 2019, sorry, killing it in the future. If you're a kayak angler, you haven't noticed a Josh Stewart appear on the platforms at most tournaments he's been in, pretty much all tournaments. I would even safely guess you're not paying attention. Josh absolutely rocks. Good job this year, Josh. Round of golf clap. Golf clap.
Bridget actually had a comment, and she was talking about the bite, I believe. It does a great job in wind, does just fine in lake-type situations, and is still maneuverable, a terrific ride.
It's nice and low to the water.
On all the boats.
Yeah, the nice thing about the bite is it's really low on the water. So yeah, you don't get the windage that you do on some of the higher gunnel boats, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. Like I said, I'm just looking at so much over here on this website. I mean, I can bring it back up. Anything else that particularly that you wanted to point out on the website, James? Or
if you go to the Explore section, so I'll kind of give you an overview. Let's start over shop. You'll just hover over it, and obviously shop is where all our product information. You'll notice from our last website we had a heck of a lot of content, immediately, and Clay was one of them for years. Have been saying, it's not a lot of product on that page, and there's a segregation. We had fishing, whitewater, touring, all sorts of stuff kind of consolidated in that main screen. It was a pretty busy main screen. It was a popular main screen. Like I said, we had a lot of traffic to it, but we took this opportunity with the new restart to our website to kind of separate out product from some, so you have the shop section, and the discover section is basically getting to the nitty gritty of Jackson Kayak, and this is basically your service station for figuring out who Jackson is, as a consumer, getting to things that are important to you, whether it's a place to buy the boat like your dealers, a little bit about our innovation, which is new. One of the things that we noticed is that we wanted to kind of bring to the forefront kind of the successes we've had in development, from David Knight and EJ's work on all the boats, with the team. We've come to the table with some pretty cool innovations, from creaking to freestyle, and same thing on the fishing side. There's a lot of innovations that started with the high-low seating on the first Coosa with Drew Gregory, all the way through to some of the FD and some of the new innovations we have with the eDrive and stuff like that. So there's a lot of innovation. So that section there, and of course all our forums. If you've got an event, or if you're a user and you've got got something that you need from us, our customer service speaks for itself. We've always done well, and this is where you can kind of go to it in one click. The Explore section is where we've kind of basically laid out all the fun stuff that we're kind of interested in, so whitewater kayaking, fishing, and general adventure. We're spanning into hiking, we're spanning into ATV and off-road. We've got product now that kind of, is an offering to so many people who like to enjoy the outdoors. So we're kind of consolidated that, but we gave every one of our market segments a nice place to kind of hang out in. And if you click on any of those two, let's click on whitewater for Clay. I don't know if Clay's.
Yeah. I haven't seen it all. I got on just a little bit, but then I've just been trying to pack up to go. But I'm looking forward. I love the big, open, clean pictures.
Yep.
And I do think that content marketing is such a great idea, and there's so much of it that people want to see about the kayak. And yet, you know, the world's changed a little bit. Now it's all these stories, and at least for my friends, so many of them are kayaking every day, and just scrolling through an Instagram story thing just goes on forever. And so if I want to see a website story, I want it to be better. I want it to see better pictures, bigger pictures, and a little bit more thought gone into each article. And I love that that's the direction we've taken this.
Yep. We're still going to have, you know, our grassroots approach, but definitely highlighted, you know, Will has actually been engaged to curate. I like that word. You're a curator. You're a curator, Will. It's like the museum guy. So he's curating the content with Emily, of course, and making sure that the front page of JacksonAdventures.com and the highlight articles at these different channels are you know, stepping up and entertaining.
I like that idea too, that now that when the team says, hey, I sent in 3 articles and I haven't seen them come up, now I can just say they probably weren't good enough.
But you know what? The good news, Clay, is you don't have to say that, because as soon as they fill in the form with their article and it's not good enough, we actually have new technology that sends an electric shock to their keyboard. So
it feels like this.
So,
because this just came live. I mean, this is my first time actually looking through a lot of this, and there's just so much here.
Well, we had a lot before. The problem is, you know, product, I think, got lost in amongst the story. Now we're in a mode where we're going to be starting to connect the story with the product and so forth. And our story, you know, instead of separating our stories, separating, you know, our adventures in the outdoors with the coolers from, you know, the whitewater stories and the fishing stories, we're going to kind of be able to kind of streamline how that all works. And it was one site, which is kind of nice.
My buddy Craig Miller says he loves the show's new Brady Bunch motif. Yeah, this is the first time I've had this many guests on, so it's been kind of interesting. We got a comment from Emily Jackson. So stoked. Emily tried to join us a little bit earlier, but she had a really broken up signal at a really loud place. So unfortunately, she wasn't able to join us, but it was very cool to have EJ on here with us. That was a nice surprise.
That's called a cameo appearance.
You have to pay extra for that, Jim. I'll bill you. That's cool.
And we've got Team Jackson on here.
Yeah, don't click on that yet. We're still working on it. Damn it!
Oh, actually, one of the things that is cool that
I've been removed.
One of the things that is really cool that is the global channel, and we haven't really talked about that. One of the things that's interesting is we have team members around the world. So we have articles in like 15 different languages, from Swedish to German, and that's totally worth checking out.
And you have Australian,
which is totally a different language.
That is a tough one. Well, look at that, is amazing.
Yeah.
No wonder.
That's good. It's good that we're going to showcase some of these international athletes, because, you know, I hit translate so often on my Facebook and Instagram feeds just to find out what these people are doing, and it's amazing. You get this idea that all the content is from areas where you've heard of before, and now with that technology to just translate what other people are saying, suddenly you find out how popular kayaking is all over the place, in places you didn't even know had good white water. And all of a sudden you're seeing photos of these beautiful waterfalls or catching fish or whatever there is. And it gives you ideas on new places that you might want to go to.
And fishing. I mean, that's it. And that's what's always blows me away is, you know, during this show, we'll have people commenting from all over the world. You know, the guy who's up on the screen right now is one of our team members, Egowitz, who I met in Sweden, got to fish with him there. And then he came and stayed with me here in San Diego. I mean, you just get so many friends around the world that, you know, this sport that we all love just brings us all together. So cool. Yeah, this looks great, James. You guys have done an amazing job.
Yep.
Yeah, he hasn't slept for like 4 days. So,
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm going to be kind of selfish here, and I really want to see the gorge, the Pigeon River Gorge with the sun on it. So I'm going to get back to driving, and I kind of think I can drive fine and keep doing this, but I might get a ticket.
Understandably, sir. Well, Clay, appreciate you joining us, man. That was a lot of fun.
I can't wait to look at more of the website as soon as I'm parked again.
All right. See you, Clay.
hi, Clay.
On the green. Now that he's offline, I could say that I had a conversation once with him. It wasn't me and him; it was someone else and him. And he was arguing that texting and driving is just fine. You just have to look up every once in a while. So there we go. You know what? I think this was kind of an accidental. I'll use the word metaphor again. We're stuck in our chairs because we had a lot of work to do in the last 24 hours. But for the most part, and of course Will had surgery, but for the most part, we're always on the water, enjoying ourselves in the outdoors. And this whole new approach with Jackson Adventures doesn't limit ourselves to just certain disciplines. It spans, everything. We're kind of in love with doing.
Well, like I said, from the president on down, when you look at, EJ is, for people, anybody who doesn't know, and of course I'm sure we did, I mean, former world champion whitewater kayaker, still competes whitewater kayaking, but also spent the last couple of years competitive bass fishing. Mm-hmm. So just the full love of just all that is involved in everything that Jackson does, and being outdoors. And I mean, I think that is a cool one that is up on the site, is that whole outdoor to the core. Everybody there just loves to do outdoor stuff.
So that tagline was certainly what wasn't as instant as adventure is coming, which was kind of a fun tagline. If anybody out there is kind of a study of marketing, outdoor to the core was a 2-day process, and kind of, we as a group were probably 20, maybe 30 in the room from all parts of our company. It wasn't just executive. It was, a really great sampling of in a room of our company. And the first thing I noticed when I went in and started talking business with your cohorts in business was that every single one of them in that room was a paddler, except for Dave. Other than Dave, everybody was a paddler. And, even the people hosting or the conference or the rebranding kind of process, they're from Colorado. They're all hikers and mountain bikers, especially. It's, there's a lot of companies out there where you wouldn't know you wouldn't know the name of the president. You wouldn't know the name of the marketing director. These are the guys that move the spreadsheets around. Everybody in that room was like, when's this meeting going to be over? I want to go paddling. It's quite a unique.
I mean, I talked to Patrick Sabile. He's been a friend of mine for a long time with Sabile Lures, and when he was with that big giant company that bought his brand, one of his biggest frustrations is that nobody who worked there actually fished. It's like, how can you be in the fishing industry and not fishing? He never understood that. So when he started his own business, that is key. If you want to be a part of his company and work with them, you have to understand the business. You have to understand the what everybody's doing and what the passion is all about to get it. So, and that's always been the way at Jackson Kayak.
That's a huge part of the company mentality, is that everybody who works there is somebody that you met on the water in most cases. Like, the reason I work at Jackson is because I worked with you, Jim, and because James and I have been friends for 20 years and paddle and fish together constantly. James taught me how to whitewater kayak, 15 years ago. And that's part of how we meet each other and how this whole company got together. You take a look at people like right from the...
We don't look at resumes, really.
Not really. Take a look at the people who work with us, like Bridget, for example. I mean, Bridget comes from a fishing background and was just really great at doing what she does. And so that's why she works. They're the same with Jameson and Brooks and those guys. Like everybody who works with Jackson are all people that come from our experiences on the water. And that's an important part of the business.
That was my wife not knowing I'm live.
Hi,
Hi,
Dad.
honey.
At least she's wearing clothes this time.
I know, right? There we go. I see Scotty B from Westbrook Wednesdays. Hi, Scott. If you have me on your show, I'll look like this. I promise.
I like it.
Don't do it.
Scott's a good dude. And if anybody hasn't seen that Westbrook Wednesday show he does, look it up. I've been a guest on it. I've watched several of the shows. He does a phenomenal job on that show. It's very, very fun. It's very entertaining.
Cool.
Well, Jim, we got like 4 minutes left.
Yeah, it flew by.
Do you want to give something away? Do you want to give something away? We can give away some stuff. Well, it's one thing. I only have a budget for one thing.
So what I'll do is we got an offer to give away one of the awesome Orion tumblers, which that is what you said, right?
Yeah. By the way, James, I'm giving away a tumbler. Sorry.
Oh, actually, you said a cup. So are we just like maybe a?
Why don't we do the new Weekender? We can give away a Weekender cup.
A Weekender cup. So what I'll do is I will go through after the show is over and use our wonderful randomizer and pick somebody who commented and all that. And somebody's going to win a cool little prize from Jackson Adventures.
Oh, it's going to take a while to get used to saying that.
I know. I almost said Jackson Kayak.
Look, I've got to get a whole bunch of new shirts. Now those brands aren't going away. They've been around for a long time. They're going to be on our boats for a while and on our coolers for a while. It's going to be a thing. It's
well, I mean,
the shirts will become more valuable.
True.
So buy them when buy them. Now I feel like an infomercial guy.
I have many for sale.
Limited edition.
Limited edition pre-warned. I haven't even watched half of these.
Yeah, in fact, this one's for sale. Yeah.
I don't have any. That's why I've just got Siegler.
Name dropping alert. All right.
Guys, thanks so much and for spreading the word on this new stuff, and congratulations on all the hard work I know you put in on putting that together, because it really looks great. And I'm glad we were able to get on here. I mean, like I said, we initially said, because I know you guys were working to the last minute to get this out, and so it was like, Will, maybe we can get you on there to talk about it. And all of a sudden, we had everybody on here. That was super cool. I really appreciate you guys all coming on here, and EJ and Emily and Clay and everything. That was really awesome. So, thanks, guys.
Should we just meet at the pub in like 5 minutes? All right.
Yep.
See you there, man.
I gotta go downstairs. See you guys. So wow, that was fun. I hope you learned a lot, and like I said, go check out the new website, jacksonadventures.com, and you can check out everything that's going on over there. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, so if you are going on the water, please make sure you wear your PFD and keep your paddle right side up. Take care.
Oh,